Today is Tuesday, July 6, 2021. I am Ashley Pollard here for today's edition of Tuesday Talk, where we review common real estate and mortgage-related terms. Today's term is second mortgage, and the two types of second mortgages that we're going to review are home equity loans and home equity lines of credit. So let's first define second mortgage, which is available to homeowners who have seen an increase in their property value. And what the banks will do is they'll use the equity in the home as collateral. So the first second mortgage, home equity loan. This is given as a large lump sum of money, and homeowners will use this usually for big one-time expenses. That's what you want to think about using this for. So that could be a wedding, that could be a major renovation to your property to increase value, like a kitchen reno, or maybe you have a high cost, high interest credit card payment. You can pay off that card, and now you'll only have your lower interest, probably lower cost payment for your home equity loan. And that could decrease the amount that you're paying back over time, saving you money. One thing to note with home equity loans is that there will be closing costs associated. It's not just, oh, I have equity, let me get this money for free. You will have to pay your origination fees, your appraisal fees, your processing fees. Fees that you'll see in a typical home purchase will be associated with a home equity loan. And if you're wanting to access this for smaller amounts, the home equity loan is not for you. We'll talk about HELOCs in a second. But note that with home equity loans, the interest rate is usually fixed and your monthly payment is usually fixed. So you'll go into it pretty much knowing what to expect for your payment. Now, if you need to just tap into funds, like small amounts of funds here and there, you might want to look into a home equity line of credit, which is a HELOC. That is different than a home equity loan, which is what we just reviewed. So a HELOC is like a revolving line of credit, very similar to a credit card. You get an amount that you're allotted and you can access those funds as you need them. Your bank will probably offer you several different ways to tap into that money, whether it be an online transfer, it could be a check, or it could even be a credit card that is linked to your account. Now, these are good for emergencies. During the pandemic, when people were laid off, lost their usual monthly income, a lot of homeowners were taking out HELOCs and helping them with everyday monthly expenses. One thing to note, though, is in using them for emergencies, just make sure that everything doesn't become an emergency, because the more you borrow, the more risk you assume. Now, on the flip side, differently than home equity loans, these loans typically, or the lines of credit typically, have an adjustable rate. So depending on the month, depending on where we are with the market and what's going on with your particular lender, your interest rate could change. So you want to also keep in mind just paying that money back in a timely fashion and not letting it sit and forgetting about it. Things to think about. Your lender is going to place a second lien on your home. This is a second mortgage. So what that means is if you are having trouble making payments, you'll want to think about how much you borrow, because as I said before, the more you borrow, the more risk you assume. With HELOCs, these can be used for non-essential items. So you might randomly say, I want a new car, I need a new car, and use that money for that. This is credit that you're given. You could use it for a vacation, that's fine. But again, the more you borrow, the more risk you assume. So just have a plan in mind of how you're going to pay this money back. Lastly, there's going to be a lot of stipulations, a lot of fine lines, and things that you really want to understand. So please make sure your loan officer has explained all questions that you have and questions that you don't even know you have. You want to have someone that will really go over this in detail with you so you know exactly what you're getting into. And if you need some references, please reach out to me, because I work with a lot of great lenders who can give you different quotes, and you can see which lender has the best options for you and your family as you explore home equity loans and home equity lines of credit. I appreciate you for tuning in today. I hope you have a great, productive rest of your day. Start the month off strong. It's the first month of the second half of the year. So if you have not reached some of your goals yet, you still have 6 more months to do so. I appreciate you again for tuning in today. All questions, please forward to me, and have a great evening.